What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, my life had changed so dramatically in that time. You know, a year prior to that, I arrived in Atlanta in a wheelchair.
And you looked like shit. I couldn't believe it was you.
And had given up. I had given up. I didn't care. I mean, I wasn't going to kill myself, but I didn't care if I died.
Right.
You know, I just didn't care. I was hopeless. I'd given up hope. And that's when Dallas reached out to me, and he's always been a good friend to me. A lot of people don't know that Dallas and I are really close friends because we never had a relationship on TV.
Right.
You know, besides the little Diamond Stud thing briefly. And we were always opponents.
But the fact that y'all got him over huge with the NWO angle.
Yeah. But I mean, and we lobbied for it.
Right.
But at the same time, not only did I want to do that for him, but he was the right guy to do it to.
Absolutely.
You know, we needed guys to work with. So we had to build guys. You know, I needed Sting to be Sting, scary Crow Sting, because the Surfer Boy Sting wasn't.
No edge.
People want to see him get beat.
It was good back in the day, but like you said,
Yeah, and it just Dallas was right guy, right time, and so when he reached out to me and I came here to Atlanta, I mean, I've been back to Florida a couple times to visit, and sometimes I miss it, but I was hanging out with the wrong people and making bad decisions. So when the phone rang and, you know, I hadn't heard from Paul in a long time, and he started by saying, "Hey man, I wanted to reach out to you, you know, for a long time, but you know, they have experts there in addiction and counseling that are saying, no, don't contact him. We don't want him thinking about wrestling. Let him just think about getting his stuff together."
Right.
So, and another thing that the WWE did, and we had talked about the multiple rehabs that I've been to, a lot of those, Steve, were 12-step things where, you know, basically it's don't drink. Oh, gee, don't drink.
Yeah.
Never thought of that. How much I owe you? I mean, don't drink, call your sponsor, go to meetings. And I remember the WWE kind of felt like to me, well, he's not having any success. None of this is sticking. So let's explore other options. So they sent me to a couple psych facilities where they started realizing, let's treat the root problem, not the symptom. The symptom is outlandish drinking behavior.
Right.
But what's fueling that? So I started getting some counseling on that, and that's when I started making progress. And they were at the forefront of that, because I would just go into meetings. I didn't know why it wasn't working. You know, nothing was sticking. But when I went to this place, they sent me to a place in Texas where I got this really in-depth psych counseling. And it worked for me, and I followed up with a few other places, and you know, they diagnosed me with PTSD, like post-traumatic stress disorder, and I always thought that was just guys feeling sorry for themselves. I didn't give it any, and that's why for me, at Mania last year, there was a thing, because I was involved in a shooting years ago, and it was really tragic, and a guy died at my feet, and it was brutal, and I just stuffed it. I just put it away, like, no, everything's cool, I'm fine, and I wasn't fine. And I just put it away for years and years and years. And along that course of time, I developed a lot of other coping skills. You know, mostly booze and pills.
Right.
Just to not think.
But that's what triggered it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what and I was always going, no, I'm over that. And the guy's going, well.
Because, dude, I'd heard you'd never taken a drink until you were past 30.
Right.
Because you were the body guy.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever took a pill was in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, in a hotel room at the Polo Park Inn with party. The Freebirds were there. Kurt was there. I'm a young boy. I'm sitting on the floor.
Right.
Now they're all drinking and having fun, and I don't drink. And there was a strip club in the lobby of the Polo Park Inn. So I remember going, well, I'm going downstairs. Prior to that, someone had given me a halcyon. And I took it, and I'm sitting on the floor. I'm thinking, I don't feel it. I got up and went, whoa. I like that. So I went downstairs and drank like diet soda. So then I started occasionally taking pills. But I never drank. And then I remember riding down the road one time with Kurt, and he's going, here, you want a pill? I'm like, yeah. Then he's drinking, you want a beer? I'm going, no, I'm cool. And then he's going, you know, you want a beer? I'm going, no. And he goes, no, it kicks him in better. Yeah. I went, oh, well, in that case. Now, I'm not blaming Kurt.
No, yeah.
I'm not blaming Kurt.
It's introduction.
But that's the way, that's how it happened, and I liked it.
Right.
And that's why, though, to get back to the thing about the counseling, you know, I'm really close with Ray and Conan, and that thing that went down, you know, around last WrestleMania when Ray's first match back and a guy died, and I went to this event that they were hosting, and the main reason I went was to get with them and say, hey, listen, it's completely different circumstances, but kind of the same, like a guy died. I didn't know the guy, like you knew the guy and all that. I said, there's people out there that can help you, and if you think you need to talk to somebody, do it. Like, do it now. I said, you take this for what it's worth, but I feel compelled to say this. Don't wait. Don't wait 30 years like I did.
Right.
You know, before you start dealing with it.
Right.
You know, and I said, I hope I haven't offended you or anything, but I said, I really feel like I got to say that.
You're listening to another classic episode of The Steve Austin Show, only on Podcast One.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more. And Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's simple. Go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
At some point, I want to wrap this thing up, but at some point, a few years ago, did you ever look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to myself? Or why am I doing this to myself? Or did you know why? Because it was the PTSD thing related to the shooting. Did you know why?
Wow, I just didn't. I felt like it's guilt.
Right.
I felt like, although the guy had the gun, he was trying to kill me. I felt like, no, but really, he didn't have a chance. I was always that thing like, what if, and just, I don't know. Just like a lot of these soldiers, when they go to war and they come back and they're all fried and crazy. I don't know what was doing to me. Did I ever have that moment when I looked in the mirror? I don't think I really looked in the mirror too much. I didn't like who was looking back, and I remember always finding comfort in wrestling because I got to be that fake guy. Like,
Was it an alter ego or someone to hide behind?
When I can hit that curtain, man, I don't have any problems.
Right.
How you doing? Better than you. Come back through now. Scott Hall's life's falling apart.
Right.
But Razor's doing great.
Right.
And I think I really liked that. The only time I felt safe was in the ring. Because I didn't know what was going to happen when I went back through.
Right.
And at the same time, I cared so little. I almost felt like I deserved some punishment, some pain, because, if you only knew, Well, I must not, because I haven't made it. So I want the other riches in life. I want to be married. I want to have kids. I don't care, a little apartment, something. I'll work at Sears, maybe learn how to work a forklift. I'm not dumb. I could be trained, and, that'd be a steady job. I'm thinking like that.
Yeah.
And I had one more commitment to make in Europe for 7 months, so I begged this girl to marry me. We go over there, and we're trying to have a baby, because I'm coming back, and I'm going to start a real job.
Boy, you committed to that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's an exit strategy in this business, Scott, and you've got one.
Well, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not going to be one of them guys who, if I'm not going to be a big star, then I'm really not interested in being in this.
Okay.
Okay, if I don't have it, then I don't have it.
Right.
And so I remember coming back now, though, the reality's setting in. We come back to America. She's 7 months pregnant with Cody, who's now 24. I'm working as a bouncer, and I'm going, oh my God. So I called Dally, and if you know Dallas, he's relentless in his work ethic. And he was managing the Freebirds at that time, the new Freebirds, when it was Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes. And I said, man, you're too big to manage the Freebirds, man. And he goes, no, man, Dallas, he's always thought about it. No, man, I stand with my legs spread on the interview so I don't look as tall. I said, you need someone to stand next to you, make you look small. I said, you need a diamond stud. And he goes, whoa, bro. So he's off on a tangent. He relentlessly hounds Dusty about it, and I get a tryout.
So that was your idea, the diamond stud?
No, he had talked about making me and Al Perez the diamond studs back in Florida way back in the day.
So the seed was planted.
He had mentioned that to me, and I just brought it back up to him.
As a single.
So then he would call me at 3 in the morning, bro. And I got a pregnant old lady.
Yeah.
Bro, no one's had black hair in wrestling since Honky. Everybody's got blonde hair. You got to have black hair. And I'm going, oh, man, I don't know. So I dye it brown. I got it blonde at the time. Then a couple days later, bro, that mustache got to go. And I'm thinking, like 20 years, I've had this stash. And it was the 80s, people still wore mustaches. And I'm thinking, like, wow, I don't know. And then he goes, bro, you got to go with the stubble, the Rob Lowe stubble. He gave me everything. We were at Waffle. I'm debuting at TV. I've got the black hair. I got the stubble.
It was a great look.
Thank you. And we're working we're in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and this is before catering at TVs.
Yeah.
So we're at a Waffle House. It happens to be at the end of the parking lot. We're in there eating. We're paying the bill, and Dallas grabs a toothpick. She goes, Bro, I got it. He's going, I got it. We'll both have toothpicks. So, and I'm so happy to have a JOB. I've signed a 1-year deal. I don't care. I know I'm good for a year.
Yeah.
I got a pregnant kid,
Yeah.
And so the thing is, he had browbeat Dusty to get the Janet Jackson headphone mic so he could use his hands when he talked.
Yeah.
So we're walking down the aisle. He's talking. We get in the ring. His toothpick falls out. And I don't talk. Dallas is talking. But I know enough. Now I've been around a few years.
Yeah.
I see the red light on the camera. I went, bing. And after that, you're the guy with the toothpick. And I go, I sure am. I sure am. He gave it all to me. And the same thing about Dallas is cut from that same cloth as Kurt. He's not selfish. There's nothing selfish about him. He gave me that gimmick. Now, backtrack to, I get home from TV. There's 3 messages on my voicemail from Pat Patterson. Now, prior to this, I'm asking Kurt, what do I do? What do I do? He goes, just call the office, ask for Pat. I call once a week for a year. Every week I call. Can I speak to Pat Patterson, please? Who's calling? This is Scott Hall calling. 1 minute, please. I'm sorry, Pat's in a meeting. Just please tell him Scott Hall called. Thank you very much. Because fuck it. What do I got to lose?
Right.
He's not talking to me anyway.
Right.
I'm just going to ask for a tryout. So now I get back, and now I got 3 voicemails from Pat. So I'm going, well, ain't this something? So I call Pat. Can I speak to Pat Patterson? 1 moment, please. Hey, goddamn it. Hey, kid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like you're saying,
Right. Hey.
the other 500 phone calls.
Right,
Yeah.
So he goes, hey, kid, Vince loves the new look. And I'm saying, thank you, Pat. Thank you very much. Well, listen, I'm just going to come right to the point. Did you sign a contract with them sons of bitches? And this is all setting in on me, and I'm going, Pat, and now I feel comfortable because I'm not asking you for anything.
Right.
I go, Pat, I just got done driving from Atlanta back to Orlando. They don't even fly me. I drive from the contract signing. And he goes, I said, Pat, I don't want to work for them. I wouldn't have called your office every week for a year if I did. And he's going, calm down. Pat, calm down, kid. Calm down. Don't worry. You'll be able to tell them in a year New York wants you.
Right.
So a year goes by,
Right.
no contact from New York. So now I call Kurt and go, bro, I'm done here. They're not doing anything with me here. I said, you know what? If I'm destined to be a job guy in this business, I want to do it for Vince. The lowest paid guy in wrestling makes a pretty good living.
Right.
I remember saying to him, give me Barry Horowitz a spot, because Barry Horowitz had a baseball card.
Right.
Because I figure if I'm going to do jobs for a living, I'll do them, and I want to do it at the best place around.
I don't remember too much of your diamond stud run because I was doing my thing. But so how was it? I mean, you was working mid card, working top.
Yeah, well, the thing that Dallas and I got together about was, you know what, the fans don't know how much I make.
Right.
I'm going to act like I'm the shit, I think. I wasn't sure what was, but I was happy I got the information.
But again, that was another light bulb going off.
It's like, okay, now this is the bigs. This is the Charlotte Coliseum,
Yeah.
whatever. It's sold out. By the way.
But it's a heads up.
Like, hey, put your big boy tights on it. And I like it like that. I've seen guys do interviews later, like current interviews, guys who were on the roster back then saying, we weren't sure if they were still getting paid by Vince or not.
Right.
So we started running with it. Just really, you hate us? Now let me give you a reason to hate you. Well, Vince pays us too, right? You know that, right? Just,
Well, you guys look at the ratings all the time?
No, but Bischoff does. I don't follow him at all. I don't really. I'm barely paying attention to what we're doing, much less paying attention to what you guys are doing.
When you say that, you're not paying attention to what you guys are doing. Where was your head at?